The news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening, welcome to this evening's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. Kevin Smith here. Let's get to the news in detail. Suriname leaves no stone unturned when it comes to securing benefits for its people. In fact, the country's national oil company, Staatsolie, ensures that the parent companies in the oil and gas sector take full responsibility for any oil spill that may occur in Suriname waters. This is according to Staatsolie's CEO and Managing Director, Rudolf Elias. Elias explained that the country must get insurance from the parent company. Further, he stated that if a country proceeds with an oil development, then it must ensure that it is done with the bigger companies. Meanwhile, while his inaugural address to Guyana's National Assembly yesterday lasted approximately 1.5 hours, President Irfanali made no mention of the two critical areas relating to the oil and gas sector. These two critical matters relate to securing better terms for the country in the Stabroek Block deal, signed with ExxonMobil, and securing comprehensive insurance coverage for any potential disaster from Exxon's approved projects. The oil companies, he added, are entitled to a fair return on their investment. Therefore, any relationship with those companies should be based on fairness, on equity, and on mutual interest. However, the Stabroek Block deal is anything but fair. In fact, industry experts referred to it as one of the world's worst contracts. And now let's tell you, implementing countries like Guyana under the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, or EITI, are encouraged to publicly disclose any contracts and licenses that provide the terms attached to the exploitation of oil, gas, minerals, which were entered into before 2021. The EITI had also required Guyana to disclose the identities of the real owners of the companies, which have obtained rights to extract oil, gas, and minerals before the end of 2020. But it has been 7 months since the PPPC assumed the role of government, and the citizenry is yet to see any headway on the disclosure of contracts from the lucrative mining sector. In fact, Guyana has only managed to make public those contracts from the petroleum sector, while contracts from the bauxite, timber, gold, and diamond sectors remain a secret. And now let's tell you, President Irfanali is expected to host next Monday a stakeholders consultation to discuss Guyana's local content policy and to receive feedback and comments for its finalization. In light of this, the Ministry of Natural Resources has uploaded to its website the initial local content report, drafted by the high-level local content panel, established by the President upon taking office, and the draft policy, which was put together internally by the Ministry of Natural Resources for public review and comments. In other news, a police sergeant on Thursday night reportedly shot his reputed wife to her neck and dropped her off at a hospital after she ended a relationship with him. The suspect has been identified as Colin White, the station sergeant for the Blairmont police station, and the injured woman has been identified as Shonette James, a special constable who shared a 4-year relationship with White and has 2 children together. According to a police report, the incident happened around 20 hours 30 at Onderneming, West Coast Berbice. And moving on, a man who falsely claimed that he was robbed of his motor vehicle today made his first court appearance and was placed on $30,000 bail. The defendant, Shamir Mingo, appeared in the Georgetown Magistrates Court before Senior Magistrate Leron Daly. He pleaded not guilty to the charge, which stated that on November 16, 2020, at East La Penitence, Georgetown, he gave information to Detective Corporal Harvey that he was allegedly robbed, knowing same to be false, causing Corporal Harvey to do what he ought not to do. And moving on, a teenage girl of Block 3 Providence, East Bank Demerara, was this morning remanded to prison after she pleaded guilty to an extortion charge. The defendant, 19-year-old Princess Williams, appeared in the Georgetown Magistrates Court before Senior Magistrate Leron Daly. She pleaded guilty to the charge, which stated that between January 4th and 7th of this year, with intent to extort money from Kenrick Thomas of $10 million, she threatened to accuse him of attempting to rape her. And finally, let's tell you the Ministry of Health today reported 2 new COVID-19 deaths, an 84-year-old male and a 59-year-old male, both from Region 4. Their deaths were recorded as the 185th and 186th COVID-19 fatalities. 7 patients are in the COVID-19 ICU, 666 in home isolation, 41 in institutional isolation, and 25 in institutional quarantine. Additionally, a total of 7,281 persons have recovered from the virus, with 124 new recoveries recorded yesterday. And that brings us to the end of this evening's newscast. But before we go, let's head over to the page 7 of the Kaieteur News, where we have the blunt comment. ExxonMobil could announce 10 more $100 million initiatives it claims are for the benefit of the Guyanese people. And we would not be fooled. The lopsided contract ExxonMobil was awarded allows it to give Guyana billions in donations with one hand and take them back with the other, with the government's blessing. Exxon claims it will not recover its donations, but we will not trust any oil company at its word.
And that's the news of the moment. Remember to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the MyTuner app as well as the Radio Garden app. You can also keep up to date by liking our Facebook page at Kaieteur Radio.